uh, call the meeting to order of the Waterloo Board of Adjustment regular meeting for May, Thursday, May 28th. All members are meeting through Zoom. I'm going to take 1 second for a point of privilege to wonder if we would just take a moment of silence to honor all those since we've passed 100,000 deaths of COVID-19. And specifically, I think 43 in Black Hawk County, if we could just take a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the agenda today, approval of the May 28th, 2020 agenda. Is there any additions, corrections? Being none, I ask for a motion.
I move to approve the May 28th, 2020 agenda.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Approval of the April 28th minutes. The only question I have on page 2, under the item for Jeff and Laura Palmer, and maybe I shouldn't even be bringing this up, but under number 3 where it says there's been no opposition to this request, you may want to just, I know we talk about the opposition below that, but
yeah, yeah, we'll correct that.
okay. Other than that, I don't see anything else.
I move that we approve the amended minutes for the April 28, 2020 minutes.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have 2 decision items today. The first is a request by Waterloo School District for a variance to the outdoor advertising signs and billboards regulations to allow for the installation of 139.7 square feet of signage, 75.7 square feet more than the maximum of 60 square feet of total signage allowed for the installation of a digital message sign in an R3 multiple family district located at 1707 Williston Avenue. Staff report.
Okay, yeah, this is Hyberg with the staff report, and we did end up revising the numbers for the signs. Basically, it's just to allow the installation for only 109.32 square feet of signage, which is only 45.32 square feet more than the maximum of 64 square feet of total signage allowed, and for the installation of a digital message sign in the R3 multiple residence district. 2 of the wall signs just said elementary and pre-elementary, and since it didn't have the school name, we removed those. And the directional signage, after additional clarification, we found out that it met the requirements. So that's the reason why the square footage for the variance was reduced. The applicants are requesting to install 2 monument signs with 1 digital display, with 407.2 square feet of signage and 1 wall sign with 62 square feet of signage. The total signage for the site is 109.32 square feet, which is 45.32 square feet more than the 64 square feet of signage allowed at 1707 Williston Avenue. The property's been zoned R3 multiple residence district since the adoption of the zoning ordinance in 1969. Properties to the east across Highway 218 are zoned M1 Light Industrial District. Properties to the south are zoned R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District and C2 Commercial District. Properties to the west are zoned R3 Multiple Residence District and R2 1 and 2 Family Residence District. Properties to the north are zoned R3 Multiple Residence District and M1 light industrial district. Site is predominantly surrounded by residential development to the south and west. In addition, there are commercial and industrial businesses to the north and east. Request would not appear to have a negative impact on traffic in the area. Future land use map designates this location as parks, open space, schools, government facilities, and public areas. So the request is in conformance with the future land use map. Section of the zoning ordinance that pertain to the request would be Chapter 10, 26.1, Outdoor Advertising and Billboards, R3, Multiple Family Residence District. The applicant is proposing to install 109.32 square feet of signage, 45.32 square feet more than the maximum 64 square feet of total signage allowed, and for the installation of a digital message sign. The surrounding area is residential and commercial in nature. And for the criteria, lack of reasonable turn, there would appear to be lack of reasonable turn to the request. The existing and proposed signage is needed to allow visitors to identify parking lots, wayfind on the Lowell Elementary campus, and direct visitors to the appropriate location on the campus. Unique list. There appears to be somewhat of a unique list to this request. The schools are allowed use within the city of Waterloo's residential districts. However, the R3 sign regulations are very restrictive, especially on a 9-acre elementary school site. Public considerations. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the area and would be compatible with surrounding uses. Staff has heard no objections to the request. Therefore, staff recommends that a request by ISG Inc. on behalf of Waterloo Public Schools for a variance to the outdoor advertising and billboards regulations to allow for the installation of 109.32 square feet of signage, 45.32 square feet more than the maximum of 64 square feet of total signage allowed, and for the installation of a digital message sign in the R3 Multiple Residence District located at 1707 Williston Avenue be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the area. The additional square footage of signage is needed for visitors to wayfind on the Lowell Elementary School campus. And that's Heiberger with the staff report.
I do have one question.
Sure.
I think we're just really hearing you through another microphone.
Oh.
So I'm having trouble.
Oh, I apologize.
How many square feet? I'm lost.
Okay. Yeah. The square feet being requested is 109.32 square feet, which is 45.32 square feet more than what's allowed per the ordinance.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
sir, how many signs are being installed? In your staff recommendation, you say one digital message sign, but in the general description, there's several. Could you clear that up for me, please?
Okay, yeah, there's basically 3 directional signs, 2 monument signs, and 3 wall signs. One of the wall signs shows Lowell Elementary, one of the wall signs shows the elementary, and another one shows pre-elementary. And then you have the two monument signs, and then one of the monument signs includes the digital display. And then there are just 3 directional signs that are basically on the southern portion of the lot, and that's just basically being used to direct people to parking and other school locations.
And so therefore your staff recommendation, when you say the installation of a digital message sign?
Yeah, that's part of one of the monument signs.
So that's the only one we're concerned about?
No,
why weren't all those other signs in your staff recommendation? That's my question.
Okay, well, directional signs can be 6 square feet, and they were less than that on both sides. So that ended up being pulled out of the report because it met the requirements, and it doesn't need a variance for that. And then 2 of the wall signs, because they didn't note the school location or advertising, those 2 were removed because they just showed elementary and I think, pre-kindergarten.
Okay.
We are just approving one sign then.
Yeah, well, basically, the message sign, and then just a few additional, and then just additional square footage of signage as well.
So the message sign is 109 square feet.
No, the total, the total square footage for the signage is 109.32 square feet.
Maybe it would be helpful if you could list the signs that are included in the 109.
Okay, one digital display that's 3.5 by 12 feet, and a digital display that's 12.2 by 5, and then there's one wall sign that's 2 by 31.
2 by 31.
32, maybe?
Yeah, 2 by 31. It's 62 square feet of signage for the Lowell Elementary wall sign.
So then that's a mistake here.
So all three are digital signs, or just one?
Just one.
Okay. Yeah, I can see where the confusion would come in, Jerry. I thought it included all those little signs too.
Right.
And it did initially, but those ended up after, I don't know, I reviewed the signage with Eric after the report went out, and then we just updated the staff report.
But not the general description. Okay, so the monument sign is 3.5 by 12.
Yeah, that's like the whole sign itself. The actual square footage is less than that.
But it's a monument sign.
Yes, yeah, there's two monument signs.
And is it digital?
One of the digital signs is one of the monument signs is digital, yes.
Okay, and the other one is not. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Monument. The 12.2 by 5 is not digital.
So it is, isn't it?
Well,
So the 3.5 by 12 is not, and the 12.2 by 5 is, according to what I'm reading here.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the 12.2 by 5, and that's just the overall size of the monument sign. It's not the actual lettering included in it. But the two monument signs equals out, their square footage is 47.32 square feet.
and then we have one wall sign, which is now 2 by 31.
Correct.
Okay. That's 62. Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions of staff?
No.
No.
Okay. Is there anybody there that wishes to speak in favor of the request?
Oh,
No.
or
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Dan's there. Sorry. I didn't see him behind the podium.
So, Dan Shanner, ISG. I'm just here to answer any questions you may have regarding the request.
I don't have any.
I don't think we have any questions. Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Okay, is there anybody in the audience wish to speak against the request? Or online? Okay, seeing none or hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
Go for it, John.
Nah, you can have it.
Oh, boy. Okay. I move that we approve the recommendation of the request by ISG Incorporated on behalf of Waterloo Public Schools for a variance to the outdoor advertising signs and billboards regulation to allow for the installation of 109.32 square feet of signage, 45.32 square feet more than the maximum of 64 square feet of total signage allowed, and for the installation of 2 monument signs, one of which is digital, and a wall sign in the R-3 Multiple Residence District located at 1707 Wollaston Avenue be approved for the following reasons. 1, the request would not appear to have a negative impact in the area, and 2, the additional square footage of signage is needed for visitors to find way onto the Lowell Elementary School campus.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Our second request is a request by Anthony Tucker for a variance to allow for a 6-foot privacy fence in the required front yard located at 302 East 10th Street. Staff report?
This is Western with staff. The property is located on the corner of East 10th Street and Lafayette Street. The site in question is Zone C2 Commercial District and has been zoned as such since the adoption of the ordinance, but it is used as a single-family home. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area or its land uses. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the pedestrian or vehicular traffic conditions in the area, as there is ample visibility along both Lafayette Street and East 10th Street. The proposed request would be in conformance with the classification of this area as commercial in the future land use map, City of Waterloo Comprehensive Plan. Sections of the zoning ordinance that pertain to the request is Chapter 5, General Regulations, 10-5-1 fences. The applicant is asking for a variance to construct a 6-foot privacy fence in the required front yard on a corner lot to make a secure playground area for his family. The zoning ordinance prohibits fences taller than 4 feet in the front yard in situations where a structure is addressed off the longer dimension street frontage, which is the case with this request. The front yard setback will be met along the longer dimension street frontage from the center of the house forward towards the narrow dimension street frontage. The rear yard is opposite the front yard along the narrow dimension. The zoning ordinance notes for fencing on corner lots address from the longer dimension that no such fence shall exceed 4 feet in height in the front yard, nor exceed 8 feet in height in the rear yard and along the street side adjoining the rear yard, extending from the center of the house to the street line and back to the rear of the lot. Lack of reasonable return. There would not appear to be a lack of reasonable return to the request if the variance is denied, as the fence can be constructed in a manner that is within the guidelines of the zoning ordinance. However, the fence does not appear to cause any visibility issues for motorists traveling west on Lafayette Street or south on 10th Street. Uniqueness. There does not appear to be a uniqueness to this request. Public consideration. Staff does not believe that the proposed request would have a negative impact on the surrounding area, as the fence does not appear to cause any site visibility issues for traveling on Lafayette or East 10th Streets. Staff has heard no objections to this request, but has received numerous calls in support of the request, and there is a signed petition in favor of the request from multiple property owners in the area. Therefore, staff recommends that the request by Anthony Tucker for a variance to allow for a 6-foot privacy fence in the required front yard and within the, we're going to strike the 25-foot triangle of visibility. So we're recommending approval of a 6-foot privacy fence in the required front yard located at 302 East 10th Street. Be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact upon the surrounding area. The fence does not appear to cause any site visibility issues for motorists traveling west on Lafayette Street or south on 10th Street. There is a signed petition in favor of the request by surrounding neighbors, and staff has heard no objections to the request.
Yeah. The question I have is, we're approving the fence that's already been built. Is that what we're doing?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So did this come up through zoning or something?
Say that again, John.
Did this come up through planning and zoning? Not planning and zoning, through the one that gives tickets.
I believe an inspector saw it and noticed there was no permit, and that's why we're here.
Oh, okay.
I was unaware that you needed a permit. My grandmother-in-law built a 4-foot fence in her yard and didn't need one.
Okay.
So I assumed because she didn't, that you didn't need a permit for a fence at all. So that's why I went ahead and built it. Then later found out that I needed a permit and started to take the necessary steps to be able to get the permit. And that's why I'm requesting that I be able to keep the fence the way it is.
Will you state your name?
Yeah.
My name's Anthony Tucker.
Is any other questions of staff?
No.
Okay.
I think I have one, but I forgot it.
Is there anybody else there that wishes to speak in favor of the request or online?
Oh, yeah, I did have a question. I have the question. So that's considered front yard and not side yard?
Because it's a corner lot.
Correct.
Well, I'm talking.
So,
But yes, technically it would be the side of the yard and not the front, but because it's a corner lot, they consider halfway from the house forward as part of front yard.
So staff, just gonna ask this one last question. If this were not a corner lot, that wouldn't be illegal, or that
No.
would need a permit.
Correct.
Staff.
No,
correct.
Okay,
It
thank
would
you.
not be illegal.
Okay, great.
Hey, is there anybody there that would speak against the request?
There's no one here present.
No one's present, okay. All right, if there's no other questions, I'd entertain a motion.
This is my turn.
Yep, it is.
Mr. Chair, I move that the request by Anthony Tucker for a variance to allow for a 6-foot privacy fence in the required front yard located at 302 East 10th Street be approved for the following reasons. The request would not appear to have a negative impact on the surrounding area. The fence does not appear to cause any visibility issues for the motorists traveling west on Lafayette Street or south on 10th Street. There is a signed petition in favor of the request by surrounding neighbors. Staff has heard no objections to the request.
Second?
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, fence is okay.
thank you.
Hey, do we have any other discussion items?
So what went on with this? Why were there so many things we had to correct? Did something happen like this, like in the past couple days and before we got this, or yeah, what happened with the
You talking the staff report for the schools?
Yeah.
Yeah, the packet had already been sent out, and Seth had been discussing with the applicant, Dan Channer, and now, and one thing too, the site plan that was submitted was done by an architect, which they don't typically have all the information that we need. Unlike a sign company, they know exactly what to put in their requests. So it created some confusion, and after pressing for more information, the numbers started to change.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was the sign or the company's fault. Cool.
Yeah, they should probably use a sign company. Be easier for
Probably
us.
Yeah. Is that the school making the decision to use a non-sign company for this?
Yeah, I'm assuming they just had one engineering firm do all of their work.
Oh, geez. So expect more. I think that's
Well,
what we need.
I think we're starting to educate them now that, we really need.
Dan's still there, taking this abuse?
No, he left. He missed out on the abuse.
That's unfortunate.
What's the prospects that we would meet in person in June?
I believe we've already decided we were going to do at least one more month using Zoom.
Okay.
But like you said, you have an option to come in if you'd like.
Okay.
I prefer this, is fine with me.
Yeah, John looks awful comfortable.
Oh. I mean, the chairs there are probably more comfortable than this, but it's a good.
I think that this is an efficient way of handling the meetings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
we don't
works
have
pretty
anything
good.
controversial, especially.
Yeah. I suppose if there was a big, long agenda and we had controversial issues, it would be different, but. Okay, anybody want to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See you next month.
Yep.
Yeah, see you then.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye all.
Bye.
Be safe.